Hey everybody, and welcome back to Epona Express. Now I'm sure some of you are wondering what the hell this is, and to answer that, this is an older series I did on the channel way back when YouTubers would actually make videos for their subscribers and not the algorithm. But it's not like I'm in the algorithm, nor is it like my subscribers actually watch my videos. But hey, for the three of you out there, this is for you. I thought I'd finally bring this series back and answer your long lost questions. So yeah, usually what I do in this series is I answer your questions in video form, but also I like to give you an update on my situation and lifestyle, like, you know, a room tour, which I'm going to be doing exactly that because a lot of you guys have been requesting a sneak peek on what's behind me. So I'm gonna finally give you guys a room tour on my current, living situation and show you all the goodies in the background. So let's get into that first. Then we'll be getting into the comment questions that have been piled up for years. I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can, but I want to show off the room tour first because I'm sure that's what you guys are most interested in. So let's get right into it and not waste any more time. Let's go. Alright, now I got you guys in my hands, and it's not going to be too easy to show off the room, so I'm going to be handing it off to my lovely wife. She will film it for us, and that way it's a bit easier to show off everything. So I'm going to quickly just give you guys a quick tour, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty and show every little thing off if you're really that interested. So as you can see, this is where the magic happens. AKA where I film a single video once every 3 months or something. Not consistent right now, but we're getting there. We're streaming more often. We're going to be doing a lot more videos. Echoes of Wisdom coming out, so yeah, lots more content. But either way, this is where I spend most of my time. This is like my spaceship. I absolutely love it. The curved monitor, the monitor up here. I mean, maybe a little too many screens going on. I even got the little Zelda time, the Game & Watch. Really nice to tell the time and everything. But yeah, I definitely do spend most of my hours of my existence here. But as you guys may have seen throughout the streams and videos, this is usually the backdrop of everything. As you can see, there's a lot of things to get into. I'm going to get into that a bit later, but we got the Mario Game & Watch over there, and essentially this laptop setup here is for when my wife is like kind of gaming with me. She can just kind of play over here while I'm right there, and yeah, it's pretty nice. But let's show off some of the rest of the room because you guys have seen this enough, and we're gonna come back to it and show off everything because as you can see, I got a lot of modded Game Boys, got a lot of things like that. But what you guys normally don't see in videos or live streams is this half of the room. As you can see, it's pretty big. It's actually a basement, just a giant, pretty much I just furnished it as my gaming room because all my actual bedrooms were always too small to fit everything. As you can see, there's a lot of things here. So finally I'm able to kind of display most things. Believe it or not, I still have things in storage. So I can't actually display everything. There's still room for me to display stuff, but I need more shelves. I'll get into that later. Also, if you're wondering what this is, it's a microphone. I'm hoping it's even working. It might not. You might be just picking it. I might have to like use the microphone from the camera, but hopefully this works because I'm testing it out. I'm trying to be a bit more professional with this. But yeah, as you can see, this here, a lot of people usually have arcades in their basement or something. I'm more of a console kid. I didn't grow up on arcades, so I'm staying true to myself. Instead, I got these classical mini consoles, the PlayStation and the NES. I really wish I had the SNES one, but never got my hands on it. But yeah, usually when I have people over, they can game, have a little fun. In my eyes, most of these games are just as fun as some arcade games. So if anything, the PlayStation 1 has really good games. You can play Final Fantasy VII. Imagine trying to beat that just standing here. That would be a bit ridiculous. But yeah, I got some N64 games. Here actually, you probably have seen these figurines. I used to display them a lot better when I was younger, but
I'm kind of done with buying and collecting these. As you can see, they're literally collecting dust. There's webs all over them, but yeah, these are all my old figurines from growing up, and it's kind of nice to have them on display here. The main reason for these shelves outside of all this display is having the kind of retro game setup as well. But yeah, as you can see, we got a bunch of amiibo here. These are my non-Zelda ones, pretty much all that I've collected throughout the years. Haven't been really collecting any new ones. I'd say these are the only few new ones I've gotten, aka the Xenoblade ones, that being Pyramithra, Noah, and Mio. And then down here we got some retro games, and a lot more even down there. Actually, I have every iteration of the PlayStation. The 1, the 2, the 3's up here. Actually, believe it or not, I'm so upset. I barely touched this. The original 3 that has the playback of 1 and 2, but for some reason it just crapped on me. I did a software update and it just stopped working. I don't know why. The firmware is just busted. I hope I can fix it, because this is one of my favorite pieces of gaming consoles, just because it can play PS1 and 2 natively just by popping a disc, which, yeah, the later consoles didn't have. But yeah, so many retro stuff. I mean, over here, I guess we probably won't come back here, so let me just show off everything here. A bunch of physical Switch games, and then this is the, what is it, Sony Ericsson. It's a weird name, but yeah, this is essentially the first like actual gaming phone, and I wish Sony would make more like this. If you couldn't tell, I'm a Sony fanboy. I love PlayStation, but I love Sony products in general. The camera that's being used, the microphone that's being used, a lot of the stuff I have, even my actual phone is Sony. So you think I'm a Nintendo through and through, but in reality, I wish I was in the alternate timeline where PlayStation existed. Too bad it doesn't. Yeah, I got, oh yeah, even old PAX badges from years ago, Fan Expo, stuff like that. Just stuff I kind of have laying around. It's pretty nice. But yeah, Red Wii, you know, old DS, the original. I got a bunch more displayed on the other shelf, but yeah, and also check out the socks. Come on, look at those. What are those, right? That meme. It's a really old meme, but okay, I think that shows off everything. You know, Majora's Mask, let's not forget, but yeah, that's this side of the room that's actually behind my monitor, so it's like, I don't even see this. So you guys aren't the only one not seeing this. You know, yeah, it's just there though. And then here is the main part of the room, the Zelda collection. It's actually not that grand, believe it or not. It's, yeah, just some old stuff I've had, this mirror, you know, the bow, the ancient bow, or rather just an ancient arrow with a traveler bow. I'm not, name which bow this is, you know, please let me know. I'm sure I can like figure it out in 2 seconds if I just open the game and compare. But yeah, I also got this is probably my favorite part of my Zelda collection. It is the Spirit Orbs from Breath of the Wild, you know, the DLC ones, including the actual just normal Spirit Orb. This little Master Sword light's pretty cool. Some old Zelda stuff, nothing too crazy. I got some like just the original 2DS for Ocarina of Time, and then the gold Wiimote. And also, I believe this is actually, you would think this is a cartridge of Zelda 1. It's actually to sneak liquor in. Never used it for that purpose. Actually, I only bought it for you know, display, believe it or not, yes. I'll get to that later. I got a bunch of Zelda books as well. I guess might as well show that. You know, essentially these are my, the only books I've ever read in my life, and probably the only ones I will ever open until we get the new Masterworks for Tears of the Kingdom, of course. Oh yeah, I might as well show you my pet. As you can see, this is my pet. Her name is Roombi, and I'm kidding. As you can see, this is actually my pet. Her name is Butter. She was originally my brother's, and they were thinking about, I guess they didn't have room for her or something, so they're thinking about, you know, giving her back to adoption. But yeah, I decided to take her. She's pretty cute, and yeah, I guess she wants to get in that room. But you know what? You guys can't see what's in there, so I'm not gonna let her in there. This is probably the part of the room where I don't spend enough time, but yeah, even though I showed so much Zelda and Nintendo, believe it or not, like I said before, I'm a pretty big Sony fan, but I respect Xbox. To me, console wars don't exist. I appreciate them all. It just means more games for me. People who have to pick sides, if anything, you're the one missing out. So yeah, I do have the Minecraft Xbox. It was something I got, I believe the S. I don't know actually the names. The names are so poorly done, but I got it because I love Fable and like just certain Xbox exclusives that I can't play, specifically the Fable trilogy. That alone is worth having an Xbox, and I can't wait for the new Fable. But yeah, this TV is usually just for guests, you know, if they want to sit on the couch over here, because again, I'd rather be over there spending most of my time. But not really much going on. You know, I got the original tapestry from Impa herself. She literally actually gave me this, believe it or not. When I visited Kakariko last year. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, I think I showed off. Oh, you know, some plushies near wearing Sonic wearing a Santa hat. That's kind of canon. This is kind of canon too, you know, Kirby wearing a Mario hat. But I don't know about Makar wearing Luigi. That's not canon. Get that off. And then, you know what, let me put this on. It's probably gonna ruin my hair, but there we go. Now I'm like Link. Gotta stand like this though. Okay, this is so stupid. Yeah, that's that. Now I guess we can, since you've got this far, we can really get into the nitty-gritty. Actually, speaking of Fable as well, this is all over the place. I got the Fable 3 exclusive controller. Let's be honest, Xbox 360 controller. It was actually pretty well designed for its time and still holds up today. I can't hate on it, actually. But yeah, I think we've shown off this side. Oh yeah, yo, Michael Keaton, the best Batman. Got it signed by, not him, by the artist who made this. Still worth it. Also, this is a pretty cool metal kind of thing I got. Did we show off the pins? Because I do collect pins, believe it or not, and I am crazy enough to literally inject the pin into the wall. Like, you know, it fit, so I had to, but yeah, here are my other pins. I got a bunch Zelda, but also, again, all sorts of gaming. And, oh, I guess I should show off, I'm not a Keyblade master, obviously. I do have a Master Sword, it's just plastic, and I got a Toon Link puppet on top of it. Got the Hylian shield. You know what? HMK, I could take you on now. I'm a Keyblade wielder. Okay, and stuff. Anyways. Oh yeah, I got two other swords. I feel like I gotta show that, you know? We got the Echo sword from League of Legends. He's the boy who shattered time. It was my theme song for the channel for so long. Still one of my favorite League characters. Can't wait for Arcane Season 2. We also have Genji's sword when Overwatch was cool, before Overwatch 2. So, you know, I bought it back then, trust me. I wouldn't play Overwatch now, that's long gone. Oh yeah, Sonic. I sleep fast when I have this on. Like, my dreams, a mile a minute, as Charlie would say. But, oh yeah, okay, so here we have something that I find so cool. This is so trippy. So let's see if the camera can pick it up. For those FMA fans, you know exactly what this is. It reminds me a lot of Mario 64 when you'd come near like a Bowser poster. It looks like Peach and then it turned into Bowser. This is very much the same. And if you know, you know how depressing this really is. I also got like Majora's Mask. This was actually handmade, I want to say. I bought it off of Etsy years ago. All of these broke. You can probably see the super glue on it. Out of the many times I had to move, I had to fix it again and again. Got a Steve-O poster. Used to be a big Steve-O fan. Even have a Steve-O skateboard, because, you know, I shred the... I don't even know the terminology for skating, so it just proves how I don't skate. But yeah, used to be a big Steve-O fan. I don't know about now, but I don't know if he's controversial or whatever, but I used to love his stuff, so yeah, had to rock that. And also Sonic, because, you know, Sonic shreds or something like that. But yeah, here is actually where what I really do. Yeah, I don't skate. I mod Game Boys, everybody. That's what I really do. So these are actually this is essentially what my hobby is. I do like modding Game Boys. All of these Game Boys, believe it or not, are modded. Like if I just grab this, watch, okay, there's no batteries. Pretend, you know what, I know I have batteries. Okay, there we go. This is unprofessional, but my point is, if you were to turn one of these on, because I'm sure a lot of you guys grew up playing Game Boy, normally you want to be able to see what is on the display. Now, I actually don't know if the camera can pick it up, but if you turn it on, look at that beautiful display, IPS, backlit, nice, ready to go. So all of these have been modded. Since I had the AGS 101, is that the one with the better screen? I want to be able to tell because this is a fake sticker, because this whole shell is fake. It's an aftermarket one, but I swapped it because I thought it looked pretty cool. You know, got the old Game Boy DMG style, or you can say NES. Oh yeah, got Sonic running. But yeah, I switched it because it looks so clean and nice. Same thing with, you know, the Game Boy Color, added a backlight to it. If I can turn it on. The screen is slightly tilted. You may not notice. Hopefully you don't notice. I usually hope when people check it out, they don't notice how I kind of messed it up. This is just more so a shell swap because the Game Boy Pocket Lite actually had light to it. I don't think that ever came to America though. I think that was just, like we had the Game Boy Pocket, but I don't think we had the Game Boy Pocket Lite. This is also one I made for my wife. I'm assuming it doesn't have batteries, but it's also backlit. Pretend, ting. Yeah, that happened. And it's pretty nice. I love these controller holders. I wish I had a Mario one. Like Nintendo needs to license these to cable guys or whoever makes these, because they're so cool. And as you can see, I got, like I said before, even though I'm all a Nintendo fan, I'm also a Sony fan, so I got the PlayStation Vita. This is the second iteration, but don't worry, I do have the original. And then I got the PSP. I don't know if this is a 3000 or 2000, but it's definitely not the 1000. Absolutely love it. Tails is holding that one because, you know, I'm sure he'll take good care of it. Down here, even though I got a bunch of 3DSs, like that Zelda one up here, the one that Sonic is holding, it kind of fits him. I like how each one's holding almost a color of theirs. I don't have a yellow console, so I couldn't give Tails one, nor do I have one for Super Sonic, but this is the Mario edition for the DSi XL. This is something actually I recently got. So all of these I've had for years, but I've recently picked up the DS family lineup because I never really had them growing up, or at least I lost most of them. Like my original DS that I first got was one of these, but even that I lost. So this is an actually old crappy DS that I put an aftermarket shell on to make it look new and pristine, but the buttons feel kind of clunky, I'll be honest. And this is actually, I will get into another one similar to that later on, but yeah, some Game Boy games. Believe it or not, down here, this might seem a bit excessive, but I actually sometimes buy like exclusive things more than once, kind of like the Game & Watch over here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe, I don't want to pull anything out because everything is going to fall, but everything you see in here is either boxed or repackaged like the Japanese Ocarina of Time and stuff like that. And essentially I just like to have some, you know, extra package stuff so I can give as gifts to friends, or just stuff that's like hard to find like this. I thought I'd buy a couple of them just to kind of have, so it's kind of like my extra shelf of like, if I break a controller like my Tears of the Kingdom one, believe it or not, I can just grab another, because that's happened. I've broke my Xenoblade controller before, and luckily I do have a spare Xenoblade one as well. So I like to just keep some spare ones because, again, scalpers, and the way Nintendo is to begin with, it's kind of hard to make sure you'll be able to buy one down the road, so I usually have to buy multiple ones if I really love that product, of course. Okay, we show off that shelf. I guess I didn't really get into this. Here we got some Elden Ring, or slash just Souls related stuff, because I got the Elden Ring Special Edition. I believe it came with the this beautiful statue here. But these ones, this is actually an amiibo, which is so dope. Yeah, huge Souls fan, of course. No surprise, I've mentioned it so many times on the channel. let's get to here, I guess, so we can actually get a better view of everything you see. So you see, I got a lot of controllers. You may wonder why. The reason is because I'm very picky with my controllers. I want every console I'm using to have a specific controller for it. So like this here, you may wonder, this is a Genshin Impact, I believe, inspired controller by 8BitDo. 8BitDo are amazing though. I have so many of their products. You're gonna be seeing them. Not sponsored, wish I could be, but yeah, for that controller, I actually have it connected to my Logitech gamepad, whatever this is called, the G Cloud. This is something I kind of was convinced to buy when it was on sale, but it ended up collecting dust. But I thought it was worth it, at least because it was on sale. And usually when I connect it to the big screen, I like to use this because I just feel like the color scheme matches. And I'm literally that crazy to where I want my controller to match. So like for my Steam Deck, I literally busted out the original Steam controller so I can use it, so it actually pairs with my Steam Deck. Of course, if I'm playing a game that won't work with this controller, because this controller is missing an extra analog, I do have these backups over here. So again, I mentioned 8BitDo. I use this also for my Steam when I'm playing like Zelda related games, because it is based off of the original Pro controller that was for the Wii, or the classic controller, or something like that. And then for PlayStation, just because PlayStation, my main issue with PlayStation is it has like a stick drift very similar to Nintendo Joy-Cons, so I end up having to buy multiple one of these. Funny enough, I ended up getting the DualSense Pro for the PlayStation, which you can actually swap the analog sticks. It comes out the analog sticks are so hard to get and so expensive, so it's almost like might as well buy a new controller. To me, it's a big problem. I really hope both Nintendo and Sony, even though I said I'm a fanboy of both, I really hope by their next console they fix this for good, because I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. But my point is, with pretty much every system I have like a controller that kind of fits it. Obviously, all of these controllers are specifically for the Switch. You know, we got all the Nintendo Switch Online version of controllers. Absolutely love them, such a cool concept. This pastel style Joy-Con is actually my wife's, because she has the Splatoon Switch, which is pretty nice. And yeah, she'll play here on this computer when she is gaming with me. And I guess I might as well show this as well. You can see the box in videos, but yeah, speaking of PlayStation, I have the PlayStation Portal. This actually I don't use enough just because it's not as convenient as it may be. Obviously, you need to be connected to the internet and you need your PlayStation to have good connection. So that's not always something I can make use of. So I guess as you can see, just quick zoom in here. Obviously we got this is another First Four Figures figurine I have, and this one actually, the Hylian shield that's all the way over here. Yeah, hopefully you can pick that up. But then I got a bunch of PlayStation 3 games. I love Drakengard and Nier, one of my favorite series of all time, so I have multiple copies of those just because, they were so cheap and might as well. And then I got a bunch of other, as a Nier Replicant, Nier Automata, and then all the other PS4. So PS4, PS3 games, I literally have them sitting right here. So here we have the PS4 Final Fantasy Edition. For Final Fantasy 15, and then we got obviously the PS5, the original base model, sadly, and I'm not gonna get the new classic 90s edition. I want it, but can't justify buying it again, nor am I buying a Pro. I'll wait for the PlayStation 6. But then we also got hidden back here, it's a little shy, it's the PS3. I have multiple ones of these, like over there I have a original PS3, and then actually down there I have a PS1, 2, and 4, like some extra ones. I don't know if it picked it up. It's not that big of a deal. My point is I own all the PlayStations as well, so that's why I have so many of their games and stuff. Surprisingly, most of my PS5 games are digital, though I have the disc version. But I download most of my games, so maybe Sony's onto something, I don't know. Outside of that, outside of the controllers, outside of the games, I guess I could show off this is another mod I've done. So obviously I wasn't lucky enough to get the Phantom Hourglass DS, so I made it at home. Essentially, I got essentially this is just a shell that was placed on a crappy DS Lite. So pretty nice. The shell though, I'll be honest, isn't the best quality. I don't know if it will actually pick up how low quality these buttons are, but they're like they're caved in or something. It's super weird. And the LNR aren't really as snappy, but just sitting there, it looks beautiful. So I'm happy I have it. Again, as you can see, more controller holders. I even got Hatsune Miku holding it for me. You know, she's holding it down. Here I have, actually this is pretty cool. This is probably the dumbest mod I've ever done. And that is, it's not really a mod. So, Evercade is a type of retro console thing, and they mainly have Atari and stuff, not Nintendo, but I want to play Nintendo on everything. So essentially, I bought this, which allows me to literally play Game Boy games on a device that has pre-installed games, and it's really cheap, but literally I was able to turn this into a Game Boy, which is super cool. You'll notice I do that with pretty much everything I own. I try to do that, you know, if I can Game Boyify it. Obviously we have this, shout out to Kobe. He got me this years ago, just brand spanking new out of the box. It was so amazing. Sadly, I don't know what happened to it. Like moving, it got scratched so badly, but it's still my go-to 3DS when I want to just sit and enjoy myself, because it's the big boy. It's obviously the Majora's Mask Special Edition. I love it to death. I got a lot of phone controllers, essentially. This one's literally for my iPad, believe it or not. So, yeah, if you're that desperate, you want a giant screen, here I have the iPad mini. I use this as my GPS in my car because my car doesn't have a screen. You know, it has like a calculator screen. So it really sucks. So I'd rather have something a bit more efficient. So yeah, bust this in. It's actually so cool how it works. Like literally an iPad has a giant controller attached to it. It looks ridiculous, but it's pretty dope. Yeah, oh, I guess I should show off this. It's something my wife actually got me for my birthday. You know, a bit late, but better now than never. I never had this growing up, which was so dope. So it's a Dreamcast. Absolutely love it. Been, you know, testing out Sonic Adventure on it. Again, if you couldn't tell, really do love Sonic. I'm so excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations. We're probably gonna do that on the channel. We should show off this if you can pick it up on camera. So this is very similar to the other poster that kind of shifts. One side is Majora, essentially the Skull Kid with the Majora's Mask, and the other one is Link with all the other masks, and it looks really cool depending on the perspective you view it at. But yeah, I think we've shown off everything. I mean, there's some stuff like this. Again, I've mentioned how much I love Nier, so I have little stuff like that. Here's some Evercade games for that console. Got the limited edition Tears of the Kingdom thing. Oh, this actually, my wife did a convention in the state I live in, and yeah, she got to do the cover art for it because she was featured on the convention. When she had a booth there, and yeah, they had her do the cover art, which is pretty dope. So we have a bunch of copies of those just kind of laying around. You know, I love 2B, but I also love 2P. She's super dope. I believe I have another 2B type thing over there. This is from Princess Mononoke. I believe I got this literally from the Studio Ghibli store in Japan or Taiwan, one of them. Okay, let's go to this part, the final part, that being my actual computer. So I'll show you guys a better view of everything on this side. So yeah, I got a bunch more consoles here. As you can see, I can't help it. I love being surrounded by Game Boys and stuff. And also, hopefully that picks up, I don't know. But yeah, that's my soundboard. And actually, I guess I might as well get a better view of it for those who do watch the stream. So here's all the little pictures I have. Here is how I play my little notes, and you know, sometimes I also just have it to boot up a website. You know, we always want to boot up Zelda Wiki, so anytime I want to, I just press this button and I can get right to Zelda Wiki. That is probably my most used website of all time. Outside of YouTube, I guess. I'm sure YouTube is more. But speaking of Game Boy mods, this is another one. This is the Game Boy Macro, and essentially it's a DS Lite where you break off the top and just kind of turn it into a Game Boy. Even hide the the X and Y buttons, but it's so cool because you pop in like a flash card or something and you can just play all the Game Boy games. Like, it's pretty dope. Or you can literally just physically put in Game Boy games, because again, it's an actual DSi, or DS Lite. This one's a DS Lite. We got Game Boy Micro over here. My brother bought me this for my birthday years ago. Should always keep it. This is just a Final Fantasy skin, because believe it or not, playing Final Fantasy on it, so it kind of fits. Again, I'm really picky. If the game I'm playing has to match my theme, the controller I'm playing has to match the console. That's just how I am. You know, if I'm playing Xenoblade, I put this on. Actually, I keep this on all the time, I'll be honest. It's probably the best. And oh yeah, I've been playing Phantom Hourglass on this, but actually, might as well give you guys a sneak peek of how I've been playing Phantom Hourglass on this. So essentially, you're gonna be surprised. I don't know how good this quality is, but all right, hey guys, welcome to Let's Play Phantom Hourglass. I'm acting like a little kid on YouTube, because I mean, we all start somewhere, right? But yeah, as you can see, wow, I'm moving and pressing B and it's working, because it's a mod that lets you, or a ROM hack, I guess, that lets you, yeah, use physical buttons, which is super cool. You still need touchscreen for certain things, but I think it's really cool. I feel like I had to show that off. If you kind of look over here, I mean, I have some other stuff. This is, let's remove this. This is probably my favorite emulation device, as it's a Raspberry Pi that is in the shell of a DMG-like Game Boy, and even has LNR stealth hidden, pretty cool. It's so nice. I play SNES, all the Game Boy games on this. It just feels so good to play in the original DMG form factor. But of course, if I'm feeling, you know, luxury, if I'm feeling, you know, like I want to change it up a bit, I can play on the Analog Pocket. I take care of this so well that I literally have a glass protector for it just so it can sit in. But yeah, I've been playing Mother on it, and if I want to play it on the big screen, I literally have the analog dock over there, and I'll literally play it on my TV, which is super nice. And thanks to the 8BitDo controllers, I believe they kind of work together, Analog and 8BitDo, both premium products, and yeah, I'm able to use that. And speaking of 8BitDo, this is my absolute favorite controller of all time. Because like I said, I'm obsessed with the DMG form factor. I love the D-pad. I'm gonna make videos getting more into this, because I know this is a room tour and I'm just like going off, but my point is I just love the way these feel. So specifically for any retro game, all the NES or Nintendo Switch Online except for N64, I have to play with this. It just feels so right, it's so nice. Of course, my main Switch controller is the Tears of the Kingdom one. And again, I have backup ones of them, but if I'm playing a retro game, that's how I have to play it. And actually, speaking of mods, Game Boy mods, this is probably my most prized Game Boy mod, just because it's pure gold. It's so dope. Not real gold, of course, there's plastic, another aftershell, all stuff you can get on Amazon for like 20 bucks. So if you have a Game Boy and you want to learn how to mod it, it's real simple. And of course, it's backlit. I usually take out my batteries from the Game Boy when I'm not using it though, just because I don't want them to corrode or anything, which they have done before. I don't know why I'm showing this. This literally doesn't work. I usually use this to like spook my cat, but it actually doesn't connect to my Switch anymore. I don't know why. They're really flawed. But actually, let's show off this. Yeah, we got the gold N64. I got this from Japan. Got the Japanese Ocarina of Time. But I also have the English one, and luckily I have a thing that will let me play English games on this, so I can play them all. This is actually the oh yeah, this is my computer, true. This is where everything cooks up. It's pretty nice. My old computer, actually, the one that broke on me during my Tears of the Kingdom LP, is over there, and sadly it's been collecting dust since it broke. Blame this for why the Tears of the Kingdom LP never finished, because it literally busted on me at the worst time. So I've only had this computer for a year, and it's already busted on me as well. Let's hope it doesn't bust on me during Echoes of Wisdom. But yeah, Steam Deck over here, you know, you just have it projecting whatever game I'm playing, and then here is currently my favorite device. It always changes depending on, you know, what mood I'm in, but you know, I've been mentioning Sony left and right already, and yeah, the PS Vita, the original one with OLED screen, is so sexy, and I've been just playing PlayStation Classic games on it. Like, look at that, look how beautiful that is. Easily my favorite handheld, because you may say, well, there's a Switch, you can't say you like the Vita more than the Switch. Of course I don't. The Switch is the best gaming console I've ever owned, but it's not handheld. It's more of a tablet size. Let's be real. And yeah, speaking of, this is my daily driver switch. I got some SNES Skittle buttons, got a D-pad piece of plastic on top. It feels really nice. You don't actually replace the buttons. They're literally pieces of plastic on top. Super cool kind of thing that you can do. You may wonder, don't you have a Tears of the Kingdom switch? Where's that? I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of it, so I never use it, but it's here. It's just collecting dust inside here. I got a bunch of other gadgets actually. I won't show off everything, but got a PSP Go, got a BlackBerry, yes, a phone with buttons, because I guess I'm a boomer and this was really cool to me. A lot of other things, but the main thing I just wanted to show real quickly is, yeah, this is here. Don't worry, I still have it. It's just I don't find a use for it because, again, I'm not really a fan of the way it looks. I think the Hylian Shield and Master Sword Joy-Cons look way better. But as you can see, I also put some protective buttons on this just to like make it feel a little better. I like just the smoothness of them. They remind me of the DMG Game Boy. Like I said, that's my favorite controller. So if I can feel that, and I always hate how the Joy-Cons don't have a D-pad, so pretty nice. Hopefully I can close this again. I kind of opened this poorly. Oh, and speaking of D-pads on Switches, I have this. This is actually, believe it or not, can I take this off without ruining it? The Pearl and Diamond Special Switch Lite. I got this. Kind of regret getting it because I didn't think they'd make a Zelda one, but I wanted a Switch Lite that was a special edition, and I just wanted a Switch Lite in general because I don't want to not have one. So barely use it though. When you have the OLED, why use anything else? The OLED is just so sexy. And speaking of Evercade, I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, I'm just a fan of their idea of like Game Boy like cartridges. I don't know, I think that's really cool. So I have their original EXP. They're making a newer iteration, but kind of lost interest in that. One thing I am super excited for, speaking of retro games, so even though I like to play on original hardware, a part of me wants a emulation device that can just play everything in a Game Boy Advance form factor. Like I said, I love the Analog Pocket and the form factors that are like the Game Boy Color and DMG, but I want a form factor like this that I can play all my games on, because let's be real, it's a lot more comfortable like this. This is the Retro Pocket 2. I pre-ordered the Retro Pocket Mini, super excited for that. That's gonna be my new, probably daily driver for retro consoles. So I'm gonna replace this. But that's just what retro collecting is. It's a disease where you find a new obsession, and then a new obsession, and a new obsession. But yeah, I wanna say we showed off everything. Could be missing something, but for the most part, this is everything. Oh yeah, I was mentioning my phone, Sony, like I said. It actually sucks, check this out. So let's say I wanted to film this entire video off of this. Well, let's open up the camera. Error. I have no idea why it does that. What kind of phone does this? I've only had this phone for a year and it's already doing that. I'm gonna have to go back to my Razr, honestly. I'm kidding. It's funny, this doesn't even exist anymore. Like Razr used to sell phones and then they just stopped. But yeah, I do got a Razr just kind of chilling. It's just a gaming phone. I even have this. This is the Fold 2. Pretty nice. I use, believe it or not, I use all of these as emulation devices. So let me just show you. So when I open it, boom, this is the OS even, or the launcher. I don't even use the normal Android launcher. I just have all these games ready to go, connect it to like some controller, like one of these, and boom, I'm ready to play. So it really is a disease. It's like, I have so many ways to play Game Boy games, but I want it on everything for some reason. But yeah, I guess that's it. You want to get a quick wide shot. I mean, you got Sonic hiding over here. It was those things that grow, but it never actually grew. Also, I wonder, okay, wow, it's still recording, I think. I think the red light means it's recording. So hopefully this video worked out, one take. Quick, just 360 if you want to do that. Show off Butter. Well, she's always chilling there on the chair, just kind of sitting. She likes just to be around noise, but she didn't like to be messed with, let's just say that. And I'm sure that's how most cats are. We all try to convince ourselves that cats, you know, really enjoy to be cuddled, and I mean, maybe some do, but at least mine doesn't, so. Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's so many little things I haven't shown, but like, I guess we're gonna save that for, like, I got the Wondrous one. We're gonna save that for actual videos about that. The whole point was just showing you a general gist of everything. But if you are more curious about certain things, I'm gonna be making videos delving deeper into it, like modding your Steam Deck, like modding certain Game Boys, etc., etc. But yeah, this is essentially where I do everything. I guess might as well take you back, move you over here, and let's continue this video with the comment questions that have to be answered. So let's get right into that.
All right, now let's get into answering the comments and questions that were left for years now. I'm gonna probably only answer questions from 2014 and beyond, just because everything else is a bit outdated. Yeah, we'll just be answering questions from this year. Of course, if you leave new questions, I'll be answering it in a future video. I don't know how frequent these are going to be, so I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. If there is a question that you just want answered outside of video form, you can leave it in the comments below, and I'll answer that. So from 2014, because there's so many questions from 2015. Okay, we'll do the last one from 2013. Or rather, it's funny, the last question from 2013 is the same first question from 2014. And that is, what is your favorite cookie? I guess you really want to know what that is, don't you? So I'll let you know. My favorite cookie would have, I don't know, peanut butter, I guess? I actually don't know. I don't really eat cookies anymore. I don't really eat sweets in general. Like, I like to keep it fruit and only fruit. You may have noticed, if you have been, watching the channel for a while, I would fluctuate in weight a lot, but lately I've been kind of, I found a new form of, just living comfortably without it necessarily being a diet, and I cut out a lot of different foods that are just I'll probably never come back to. I don't really look at them as the same, and sadly cookies are one of them. To me, I just see it as empty calories. There's really nothing to benefit from them. So this is a really bad answer. I'm sorry, but peanut butter is the best I can answer. If I were to have something sweet, it's kind of mixing it with a little peanut butter is, to me, super nice. I like that a lot over really any other dessert type flavor. So hopefully that answers your question. The next question is from Dan Hollow, and he asks, what timeline will you two play first? I'm assuming you're talking about Zeldudes, and we're not going to spoil that. I'm sorry. We want it to keep it a surprise, but I'm sure you can assume what it will be. Let's be real. What would most Zelda fans play after Ocarina of Time? I'm sure you can figure it out. So I'll just say that. I'm sure that alone has answered the question, but let's move on to the next one. Next question is from Rev, and he asks, how often do you check in on this Discord server? I'll be honest, throughout the last few years, almost never, but lately I have been getting more active, as you may notice, with streaming and just in general. I've been trying to get back to it, because yeah, there was a phase, I'll be honest, on YouTube where I wasn't really certain what I wanted to do, and I was kind of pivoting to things outside of YouTube. But as I've gotten a bit older, I want to get back to it. Let's just say that. And I'm hoping I can kind of do it full force. So hopefully everything does work out. And if that's the case, then yeah, I'll be way more active like I used to be almost more than 5 years ago, when I actually did this series regularly. So the plan is to kind of get back into that. Just, the stars have to align. As you get older, just generally you get way busier. It's not as easy. Before, YouTube was my hobby, then it became my job. Now I need a job to kind of sustain things. I can't just do YouTube for fun and just hope it will carry. So things are just kind of a bit more complicated, to say the least, but I do want to, just generally get back to it, because I do miss it. But yeah, my point is, it's never going to be the same the older you get. So I highly suggest, if you are young, to kind of make the most of it, because yeah, when you do get older, at least if the cards aren't given to you, you're going to have to kind of really work for it. So that's something I had to learn, slowly, but at least I'm learning. So I'll take it that way. I feel like I'm answering, I should just kind of be nonchalantly answering, but I'm getting way too deep with these answers. Hopefully that's not a problem. I mean, you made it so deep into this video, so we're getting into the deep questions. These questions aren't deep. I don't know why I'm trying to answer in a deep way, but I guess that's just how I feel. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, will Master Quest 3D playthrough be concluded? if I can somehow find the save file. Thing is, I lost it. Like, it's weird. I have the 3DS cartridge. I believe the original Ocarina of Time 3DS cartridge. Like, I have it with me, but for some reason the save file isn't on it. It's so weird. Like, I don't have another Ocarina of Time 3D, so I don't know what's going on. But as you can see, it's right here in the case. But yeah, if I literally booted this up on my 3DS, it won't show the file. So I'm very confused on what happened to it. I would love to continue it, but I literally can't. If I ever do come back to like doing 100% Zelda Let's Plays regularly, I'm just gonna have to redo it most likely. It would make the most sense since they're all pretty outdated anyways, but yeah, sadly, the reason why most LPs will never continue is because I literally lost a save file and or lost files in between episodes to where I just couldn't salvage it. And that's the main reason why, again, I end up quitting most LPs. Even Tears of the Kingdom, though I plan on finishing it, I had to literally replay through the entire game, do every little thing exactly the same, every Korok seed, every shrine, everything, and it's just not easy to do, especially Switch games where you can't even copy and paste your file as a backup. You literally only have one file, and once you save, it's over, especially if it goes up to the cloud. So yeah, in general, I guess stuff happens and I can't get around it sometimes. So not making excuses per se, but sadly there are excuses to be made. So yeah, that hopefully answers your question. If I can, I will, but most likely I won't be able to. The next question is from Ravity, and they ask, have you read any of the Zelda manga? If so, which is your favorite? Do you plan to collect the Twilight Princess manga box set that is currently on pre-order right now? No, because I have every issue. I've purchased them as they came out. I have the final issue. I don't know if I showed the manga. I don't think I really got into specifics with the manga throughout the filming video, but I do have them all. I have not the chest box set, but I just have like the books that have like both like Ocarina of Time and the Oracles or something together. And then I have each issue of the Twilight Princess one, of course. I haven't been reading, I'm not caught up on like the last few chapters, but I do love it. I do think it's such a good series, and I'm kind of excited to see what's next. If we're gonna get a Breath of the Wild manga, maybe, but in general, to answer your question, big fan. Gotta catch up on the rest of the TP ones, but I own them all. If there is a box set that's worth getting, I might get, but I never even got the chest one. It just seems a bit unnecessary, especially if I already have a different variant of the manga, so I don't see the point. But I am hyped for what's to come, and I'm hyped to conclude the Twilight Princess one, because yeah, it was getting pretty good, and I usually end up, my main issue is when I take a break, it's hard to get back into something. So now that it is complete, I'll just be able to read the rest of it, and I definitely want to make a video where I kind of you could say like abridge the series, or not like an abridge, but like, abbreviate, there's a word for it, where I kind of give you a synopsis on it, and kind of like the other version of Twilight Princess, because that is easily the best story in terms of all of the manga so far. And it makes sense, it was literally ongoing until this year, I want to say, is when the final issue came out. But yeah, big fan, and hopefully that answers your question. The next question is from Shepard, and he asks, who's this little goober? Luckily, I already answered that previously during the room tour, so now you know who this little feline is. The next question is from Jeffer, and he asks, would you ever be down for a multiplayer Ship of Harkinian randomizer? I'd love to play one with the Zeldudes. Maybe. I want to get into randomizers eventually. I'll be honest, I haven't gotten into them yet, and nor has Ed. In terms of Zeldudes, he hasn't really played one, I believe, ever. I've at least played like half of one on the channel, and that's about it. But I do definitely want to get into them. I'd say after the Echoes of Wisdom hype, we're going to be exploring all sorts of Zelda live streams that we can do. So do look forward to that. I think, some ROM hacks and randomizers will definitely be in the mix of those live streams. But in terms of Zeldudes, can't make any promises. We already have so much on our plate, so that will probably be something we'll explore much later. Maybe if once I get familiar to it, I can then share it with Ed, and then we can kind of look into that. But for now, at least on Zeldudes, probably not. Most likely on the main channel in the near future. The next question is, do you think Ganondorf could ever get his own game now that Zelda's got one? I'm hoping so, because it does seem like Nintendo is now willing to make almost spin-off like games in the main series, and to me that's huge. I want more of that. I really do hope we get some, you know, Triforce of Power type game where either Ganon is the main character or you play as Link, but it's like altered in some way that makes it seem like, I don't know, it's all about power or something, similar to how both, you know, Breath of the Wild felt like about wisdom and Tears of the Kingdom felt about courage, but also Link's Awakening kind of had the courage vibe, while Echoes of Wisdom has a wisdom vibe. So we need a power game, whether it is a part of the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild trilogy, or the Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom trilogy. Either way, it'd be a great, you know, way to wrap up one of those two trilogies, if you can really consider Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom to be a trilogy. But it'd be really cool to wrap it up with a power game as well. So I would love to see that, whether it is a blockbuster style Zelda game or a spin-off looking mainline game. They both definitely interest me. Honestly, the more Zelda, the merrier. That's really what you can expect from me. Like, am I gonna not want something Zelda related? No, I'll even take a Tingle game. I'll take whatever. I'd love anything Zelda related. The next question is, will you ever do re-let's plays of older Zelda games? An example, Ocarina of Time 3D, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker HD, Majora's Mask 3D, Link Between Worlds, etc. Yeah, of course. We'll probably be doing them on live stream though first. I'm not entirely sure if I'm ever going to get back to, like I said, 100% Zelda Let's Plays until I finish both Echoes of Wisdom and Tears of the Kingdom, but I've been enjoying the kind of casual, laid-back style Let's Play in a live stream where I can actually chat with you guys. So most likely expect me to replay those games in that way, just because, yeah, I guess the older I've gotten and just the way YouTube has changed, Let's Plays are not sustainable anymore, which is kind of a main reason in why my channel has taken such a like laid-back approach in the last few years. Because, yeah, you have to adapt to what's new. But for me, I have to enjoy what I do to want to do it. I will never force content. So it really depends on, you know, how things pan out in the future. But I am open to the idea. Like my goal deep down is one day to like remaster every Let's Play one last definitive time and then never come back to it. And I feel like I'm at the point where I can be doing that because, yeah, I kept sounding different in each Let's Play, but now I'm at the point where I don't think my voice is going to change anymore. I think I'm at the point also where my brain has at least gotten the amount of growth it can get. You know, I'm over the age of 25, so like if I were to redo Let's Plays now would be the chance and kind of make a definitive version. So again, I've been thinking about this a lot, but it really just depends if things do pan out the way I want them to. So for now, just look forward at least to the new Zelda games. At least we have that, and I'm definitely going to be 100%ing them without a doubt. The next question is, will the crew hub reunite? Okay, you're definitely a really old fan if you're asking that. Sadly, most of the crew don't really do YouTube anymore, so that will never happen. Really, the only ones around are like Munching Orange, and I mean even Sully Pones, who's my brother, is really inactive, but I can't think of anyone else who is around. So yeah, that's probably never gonna happen. As we got older, you know, just life kind of took over and everyone split up, and yeah, sadly, you know, I just don't see that ever happening. I don't think there'll even be like a reunion or anything. The channel was never taken that seriously for us to look back like, oh yeah, we were the crew hub or something. Like I forgot that even existed until I read that comment. So yeah, probably not. I'm sorry. The next question is, will you resume Master Mode on Breath of the Wild? Now, I kind of sort of answered that earlier in a previous question about like redoing or resuming, you know, projects that are incomplete. Sadly, that lies in one of those problems where it's on my old Switch, and for some reason, because obviously it was on a different Switch profile, I don't have the save file anymore. When I transferred everything to my OLED, like it didn't transfer that save file. And that's what really sucks again about the Switch having no more than like one profile connected per game, and you can't have multiple files. So if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, you can't even back that up. And let's be real, how many Switch Online accounts will you have? Probably one, right? So how many files of Breath of the Wild will you have? Probably multiple, but now you can't back them all up. It's just a big issue. So sadly, probably not. Again, maybe in a live stream, but it does honestly suck, and I blame the Switch for that. All right, the next question is, how did you and Zeltic meet? Story time? Okay. I don't even know if I can give you a story time because I barely remember. It's been so long. But probably he hit me up or something, or HMK introduced him to me, and we probably did a collab or something like so long ago, way before Breath of the Wild even came out. And then, you know, we just met in person at an E3, I believe. Not entirely sure which one, but you know, we just kind of stayed in touch. Like I kind of do with a lot of other Zelda content creators, but I guess for the most part, we kind of hit it off and just decided to really start something. It was more so like Zelda's was an idea that I wanted to create, and I was looking for like the right person, and yeah, he was just kind of like, we vibed really well. So, you know, Zeldude's really kind of kicked things off, and like now I would really consider him like one of my better friends on the internet, pretty much one of my best friends. So we were like really good friends until Zeldude's. By Zelda's, I'd say we became like really good friends afterwards, and yeah, looking forward to much more content on that channel because it's a breath of fresh air. Pretty much all collab channels I've done with friends was to kind of do this kind of style of content, but sadly, again, life would get in the way. Luckily, we both are obsessed with Zelda. We're both Zelda content creators, so at least our like, you know, general plans for content creation match with each other. So it was a match made in heaven. And yeah, I guess this doesn't really answer your question, but maybe gives you an idea of how Zelda was formed. And yeah, hopefully that scratches your itch or whatever. The next question is, do you like General Onyx or Varen more? Definitely Varen. She was a lot cooler of a villain. And in general, it was cool to have like a female antagonist in the game. Well, I do prefer Oracle of Seasons more just because I do like the way the environment changes. I'd say, yeah, Aegis had a way better antagonist in my eyes, and I do hope she like reappears for Echoes of Wisdom or something. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, to answer your question, I definitely pick Varen more. Hopefully I'm pronouncing their names right. I realize I haven't played those games in a while, and never LP'd them, so I don't have you guys correct me on the pronunciation. Maybe one day we'll play them and I'll butcher their names for you guys, but yeah. The next question is from Steampunk Charlie, and it's one question, actually two in fact. Okay. Will I replay The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D for the video's almost 10th anniversary? Oh, what, like my video release of it? Pretty much the release of the game, because I uploaded it the day the game came out. But probably not. I mean, already to answer that first, most likely not. We'll probably play that on Zeldudes in the future, and I'm gonna finish the N64 run on my channel because we're almost done with that, and I've been wanting to finish it. But yeah, I don't see myself revisiting that. And then the next question is, I don't quite understand what you said about the channel Luku Duku. So Luku Duku was a channel I had kind of promoted on my channel in the other channel section, and yeah, it disappeared. The reason why is because I kind of want to focus on bringing life back to my main channel before I pivot to a new channel, but it's still going to happen, and Luku Duku will be kind of a gaming show series that I'll be doing, a lot higher quality content than anything you'll see on ZeldaMaster, and it will be kind of like a passion project. But because life gets in the way, I can't exactly dedicate the time I want to dedicate to that. So in due time, you'll see what that channel's all about, but I want to take my sweet time and do it right. So for now, just expect a lot more ZeldaMaster content, and soon you'll see what that channel is all about. Okay, and it seems like we've already reached the final question, because it seems like all the questions that have been asked have been for this video. So yeah, I guess I didn't answer any older ones, but that's fine. Let's answer the final question. That's from Ray. So, dying for Let's Play on Tears of the Kingdom, will you ever try again after everything happened from before, aka feel your pain? I appreciate that, and yeah, like I said, I guess I answered this already. I will get to it maybe after Echoes of Wisdom, because I do still want to finish it. It's kind of crazy that there's a Zelda game I don't have some sort of Let's Play on out there, because yeah, you'd think I would have done Tears of the Kingdom by now, but again, with all the issues that happened and with how much that game requires, like, there's just a lot of empty space in that game, walking from shrine to shrine, doing things that I need to really be in the mood. I can't let the game carry the commentary, and if I'm not in a good mood, you're gonna be able to tell, so that's the main reason. I don't want to make videos and force them out. Hopefully you understand. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly see if maybe there's a question from the previous year I can answer, but if not, that should do it. All right, screw it. I think I'm gonna answer a few questions from the previous year. So Casey asks, what is your favorite food? Easily, I just say coconuts in general. Like, if I had to pick the best food on earth, for me, it's coconuts. I use it for everything. I use it in my hair. I use it on my food. I drink, coconut water. It's a great type of fat to cook food in. It's it's very versatile. So if I had to answer, it'd probably be a coconut. If I had to pick a whole food. If I had to pick something like a meal, because I'm assuming that's what your question actually was about, I would say some kind of, like, I don't know. I don't even have, pizza used to be my favorite meal, but as you may notice, I don't eat that anymore, or I choose not to. So usually just something with, like, ground beef and potatoes. Those hit the spot, and it's relatively healthy. So I actually prefer, like, something like that. If I can find something both healthy and tasty, that's what I'll go to. So having the carbs and the fat from the meat and everything, it's a delicious meal. And to me, yeah, it's more justified than, like, eating pizza, which is just so much carbs and not much protein. So I used to love pizza, though. If I really had to answer, pizza would be my go-to. I still will salivate seeing a pizza, but you won't catch me eating that, like, often, if at all. So yeah. But okay, I think I'm going to end things off here, because while there are a lot more questions, a lot of them are pretty outdated, and it will take me forever to scroll through all of this, and I've been filming for quite a bit, so yeah, I think I'm just going to wrap things up. Hopefully you enjoyed this for what it is. If I ever do another one of these, I'll make sure to give an announcement and have you guys ask the questions beforehand, and I'll make sure to answer all of them. I won't take a year, hopefully in between, but I don't plan on doing this series often. Like, this will be the only video in a while like this, because again, YouTube doesn't really promote videos like this. They don't do well to begin with. Altogether, YouTube has changed so much. People don't even get videos in their sub box, or at least you're not likely to click them that way. You're likely to click them on your homepage, or your recommended, or up next. And if you're not in the algorithm to get promoted in that, you just don't exist. So my channel's been in the Shadow Realm for quite a bit. The goal is to get out of the Shadow Realm, hopefully some way, somehow. But yeah, just in general, I'm gonna try my best to, like, make videos catered for the few of you who are actually watching, but also to try to, bring the channel back to life, because again, yeah, the channel is pretty dead. But I don't really blame YouTube. It's 100% my fault. If you take a break, especially as long as I have, consistently on and off, yeah, that really does kill your channel, so it is a kind of punishing system, but it's, I guess, the name of the game, so I got to deal with it. So yeah, either way, this video was fun to make, and again, I made it for the real fans, the ones who wanted to see it. So I hope you enjoyed it for what it is. But anyways, I've been rambling for quite a bit. I think I'm just going to end things off here. Thanks again for watching. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a question that if you wanted it to be answered, you can leave it down below. Maybe I'll answer it just through the comments. And yeah, that about does it altogether. As always, I've been ZM, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.